Is this a salvageable situation right now?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, Sam, to me, this has to be worked out. Look, the most important person in your franchise is your quarterback, Deshaun Watson. So Cal McNair and Deshaun Watson, they're the two that have to fix this. They've got to come together because you can't let this young man walk out the door. I mean, you can't. There's no way. You don't find these guys. I spent 30 years coaching. I never had anybody close to this. All right? There's no way. It has to be fixed. And look, we know what Deshaun Watson is as a player, but even as a person, let's not forget now, when Hurricane Harvey came through, what did Deshaun Watson do? What did this player do? He took his first paycheck, gave it to employees of the Houston Texans that homes were, had some issues, gave all that money to them. That's the kind of person this is. That's the face of the franchise. He's also one of the faces of the National Football League. We've got to come back. These two have got to come together and keep this team. Look, they made a financial commitment to Deshaun Watson. I get it. That's all fine and dandy. All right? But, man, we've got to come back together. And if not, this is a disaster for this organization.
It's going to be hard to say something critical about Deshaun after the Hurricane Harvey story. You just told him he's an incredible kid. But this is a slippery slope, and I think it's been obviously mismanaged by the Houston Texans. There's a lot of things that they've done wrong in the last 12 months. But they gave him $111 million. I mean, they're committing to him. I know he's upset about maybe some other guys aren't here, but no, we're investing in you, okay? So, that's the first thing that comes to mind. And listen, maybe communication is really poor. I don't know. If they told him they were going to have him in the conversations, well, then they should have had him in the conversations.
Exactly.
But at what point does that end? I think the best organizations, let's think about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady as an example. Do you think that Bill Belichick runs every decision by Tom Brady? Hey, Tom, do you mind if we draft this guy in the first round? Hey, Aaron Rodgers, do you mind if we draft this guy in the first round? That's just not how the NFL works. So, I get that you're maybe upset that your team's not very good, that your previous head coach traded away all your draft picks, and you're probably not going to get any better. Maybe you're upset about that. Maybe you don't want to be in Houston anymore because your team isn't very good. But I don't know. It just doesn't feel – this feels like something that would happen in the NBA, guys forcing their way, players having more power than their coach. That's just not what my experience was in the NFL. Maybe the NFL is changing. I don't think that would be a change for the better necessarily, but I really don't know. This is an ugly, ugly situation. And the advice I would give Deshaun is, hey, Deshaun, maybe you should worry more about things that are in your control because there's plenty of areas where this team could get better and I know he's played outstanding, but I promise you, there are still ways that he could improve as a player.
I still think this is under his control, though. And I think now it's not the NBA, but I think for certain players it is in the NFL. There are franchise players that have refused to play on the franchise tag or have gone up and said, I'm not happy about where we are, get me out of here, or I won't play. I think Deshaun has that right. I think Deshaun has that freedom. I think if Deshaun, I just want to put myself inside of Deshaun Watson's shoes right now, okay?
Well, you'd have $111 million.
Well, let's take away the money because I think it's more about the money with Deshaun. I want to win, all right? I've been successful in college. I want to win championships. And what you're doing, organization, I don't agree with in terms of winning championships. We just got rid of the whole New England Patriots thing, all right? You got Jack Easterby calling shots that used to be the team chaplain for the New England Patriots. And now is it possible you bring in another former coach that has the New England Patriot background? Now, Nick Caserio, I feel bad for Nick because this is a tough situation with your franchise quarterback not wanting to be a part of your organization. He would do a good job. But if I'm Deshaun, too, I see the same old recycled thing going on right here. And maybe I don't like these decisions that are being made, so I want to get out. And I see other situations. And now players, they can hear about other situations and players that can contact me and say, come over here and we'll trade this and this and you'll be our quarterback and we've got a good team. We've got draft picks. Our future is much brighter than the Houston Texans. So I'm with Deshaun Watson if he wants to get out.
Matt, that era of, just shut up and play, we're done with that era. We're going into the 21st century, guys. And when
I'm with you on that.
When you look into what the Houston Texans have done with Deshaun Watson, there's been some great things that they've done with him. But I do believe they have failed a guy like Deshaun Watson. You think about his rookie year when he comes in. Deshaun Watson's from the South, and we know his background, we know his story. But when you have the late owner that says that we can't have the inmates running the prison, you know, how do you feel emotionally from as a rookie when your owner is saying that? How do you feel when your number one receiver is let go? The Billy O'Brien, the offensive coordinator that the Deshaun Watson loved, he's gone. Steele is gone. Fuller is gone. But guess what this man does? He takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Still
so I think the
balls, yeah.
respect factor for the Houston Texans of what they disrespected Deshaun Watson by not letting him inside the circle, because the reports were saying that he was supposed to be in to any of the input that's going on with the decision-making in-house. And he was not kept in the circle, kept in the loop. But like I said, you keep taking the licking and keep on ticking. This man finished first in the National Football League in passes a couple of years ago, led the National Football League in sacks, giving up sacks. We didn't see no tweets. The first tweet that we seen from Deshaun Watson, it was at a 2, now inside of 10. I don't think it's about football, guys. I think it's about the respect and disrespect.
Listen, I agree with that 100%, and I agree that this was mismanaged. If they told him, hey, listen, you're an important part of this important part of this puzzle, like, we need your input, we want your input, and then they go off and don't do it, fine. We don't have access to what actually happened there. I mean, it's kind of we're reading between the lines. However, I just feel like for Deshaun Watson not to be the quarterback of the Houston Texans, for those guys that he would leave behind, he is their leader on offense. Like, we used to play this team all the time. It was Merciless, Clowney, Watt on defense. It was Deshaun Watson, and it was Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, those guys, someone's got to be the leader in that locker room. It just feels weird to me that he would want to go somewhere else instead of turning the ship around right there. Because I do believe they can do something special in Houston still. They're not that far away.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.